Hi, grade 7. Welcome to another day of Teams. Welcome to online learning. This is Mr. Aaron here to help you. So, as of so far, what we've done, we've read scenes 1 and 2 from Gluskabe and Old Man Winter, and then you've also looked at the video tutorial in the PowerPoint on the Abenaki tribe, who are the people of the play Gluskabe and Old Man Winter. So you notice there are two Teams pages now. There's the old one and the new one. So instead of going to the one, grade 7C English, Miss Melanie, we're going to go to grade 7C English. Now, Miss Melanie is still your teacher. Everything is still the same. The Teams page has just switched. So all the information from the other page will be uploaded to this one. Now, one thing I just want to say, please do not write random messages like hello and hi and good morning on the main page on this for posting. Please do not do that. What happens is then the page will be full of random messages and you won't be able to find your information, and eventually we will have to restrict access. For example, I can go in and say only owners can post messages. Right now everyone can still post messages, but that will change if it does become a problem. So please make sure you're conscious of what you're posting. So let's get to the lesson today. So if I go into grade 7C English, now by now you should have already read looked at the video on the Abenaki tribe, and here's the PowerPoint which was made into a PDF on that. If you haven't done that yet, you can pause this video and do that first and then come back to this. Now up at the top of the page you see it says PDF. This is your story, Gluskabe and Old Man Winter. From there you can download it onto your computer. Now once you download it, you will get to here, which is what we read yesterday. So a little review of what we did yesterday. Remember the characters. You had our narrator, Gluskabe, Grandmother Woodchuck. Then there's these other characters who we haven't really quite got to yet. Now, what do you remember from scene 1 and scene 2? Take a minute to think about. What do you remember happening in scene 1 and scene 2 from yesterday? Okay, if you mentioned that winter had taken over and everyone was very cold and Gluskabe and Grandmother Woodchuck were very worried about winter, then that is a good place to start. So Gluskabe was speaking to his grandmother, and his grandmother was old, she was very cold, and Gluskabe had one job, which was to help people. And so he said, I'm going to find this old man, Winter, which came into scene 2. So scene 2, when he went to find Old Man Winter, he was in his wigwam, which if you watch the other video that I created on the PowerPoint of the Abenaki tribe, you will know what a wigwam is because I put pictures there. So he found Old Man Winter, and was Old Man Winter, how would you describe his personality? Grumpy. If you said something like grumpy or angry or upset, that would be correct. Gluskabe, how is he? Okay, if you said young, strong, brave, but also confident, maybe overly confident, too confident. Now, what is the last thing that happened in scene 2? That's right. If you said that he's going to go to Summerland to try to bring back summer, but there is a danger, then that is correct. So the danger was that the Summerland people have summer inside this big pot, and they only have one eye. And there are these 4 crows, which are these really big black birds that are very ugly, not nice to look at. They guard the pot. Anyone who comes and tries to take summer, the crows fly down and they rip their head off. So that's what he is facing. Okay, so here we are, Summerland Village. The Summerland people are dancing around the pot full of summer. They're singing a snake dance song, following their leader, who shakes a rattle in one hand. So rattle is this thing that you go, and now these instructions right here, if you saw the play in front of an audience, these instructions would not be read aloud. These are called stage directions. We learned this yesterday. So stage directions are instructions for the actors, for the people who are putting on the play, to know what to do, what to wear, how to speak, how to move, where to sit. And this basically tells them what to do and how to do it. And the dialogue, the speaking, is what to say. So the Summerland people, now remember, the Abenaki tribe don't speak English. They have their own language. So here they're singing, or doing a chant, where it's wigawane, 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 and just goes on and on and on and on. So that's when Gluskabe enters. Again, these are stage directions. So it tells Gluskabe what to wear and what to have in his hands. So he has an eye patch, which covers one eye, because all these people, they only have one eye. And he's carrying a bag with these 4 balls in it. And Gluskabe says, "Kwai kwai need a buck," which, if you remember from yesterday, what does that mean? Hello, my friends. That's right. So everyone stops dancing. And they're like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing you ever before, but okay. So we learned these people may not be like the smartest people. Like, he's just walked in, he's trying to trick them. So we're going to see if he can trick him. So the leader comes around, he's like, who are you? And Gluskabe says, I'm not a stranger, I'm one of you. See, I got one eye. Yeah. So the second Summerland person says, I do not remember you. And he's like, no, I've been here. I've been gone a long time. I've been gone away. You remember there was that one time? Okay. So he's trying to trick them. And then the Summerland person says, the third one, he does have one eye. And the fourth one says, let's welcome him back. Join in our snake dance. We got one. And so he just joins in. So we see that these aren't the brightest people. So Gluskabe probably right away is like, okay, I can fool these people. They're not. They think I'm one of them. They don't even realize this is a patch and I have 2 eyes. So Gluskabe's at the end of the line of dance as a dancer circle. When Gluskabe's close enough, of course, what does he do? He reaches in, he grabs one of the summer sticks, breaks away, and runs back and forth. So then they're like, oh, wait, he's not one of us. Oh, why did we let him in? Dang, this isn't going well. So let's see. So the leader of the Summerland people goes, he's taken one of our summer sticks. And the second Summerland person, someone stop him. So then he tells the crows, catch him. And someone says, pull off his head. So here he is running. Here's this crow coming. So the crows swoop after Gluskabe. He reaches into his pouch. And this is why he did this. So there's 4 crows, right? So he's like, well, these people, they're not so smart. I bet the crows are also not so smart. I think I can trick the crows. So he has these 4 balls that he made. And with each one, as each crow comes up, he ducks his head down and holds up the ball. And so the crow grabs the ball. And Gluskabe keeps running. And he gets another ball. And then the next crow comes and he grabs the ball. And that's it. And so the first crow says, Gaga, I have his head. The second crow, Gaga, no, I have his head. The third crow, Gaga, look, I have his head. And the fourth crow, Gaga, look, I have it. And the leader of the Summerland people is like, how many heads did the stranger have? Anyways, so the second, finally somebody in here is like, oh, he's tricked us. So that was that. That's the end of the third scene. So note what you see is the difference between like scenes. There's a change. You know, the first scene, and this is in drama. So in drama, you have scenes and you have acts. Now, this is called a 1-act play. There's only 1 act. It's not a long play. It's very short. But in the first scene, he's with his grandmother woodchuck, at their place. And then the second scene, he goes to speak to Old Man Winter in his wigwam. The third scene, he goes to the Summerland people. Well, the fourth scene, he's back at the wigwam of the Old Man Winter. So Gluskabe walks up to Old Man Winter's wigwam. He holds up a summer stick in his hand. He's like, ha ha ha, look what I got here. And so he knocks on the door. Old Man Winter says, who's there? So here we are, just like we were before. It's Gluskabe. And Old Man Winter says, come inside and sit by my fire. Now, if you remember, what is his fire made of? Ice. It's not even a real fire, right? But, to him, it's like fire. So Gluskabe enters, sits down, and he places the summer stick in front of Old Man Winter. So Gluskabe says, you must go back to your home in Winterland. And Old Man Winter, he's confident too. Doesn't pay him any attention. He says, oh, must I? Ha ha ha. But tell me, do you like my fire? And Gluskabe says, your fire is no longer cold. So the conversation between Gluskabe and Old Man Winter means to show the conflict between the two characters. So this is conflict. Now there's different types of conflict which we're going to learn about. This is called an external conflict. External means it's not within yourself. It's you or a person, a character against something else. So for example, you have an argument with your friend. That's an external conflict, and we call it a man-to-man, character-to-character conflict. Now, there are different types of conflict. You also have man versus, you could say, the society. So what if, like, all of the Summerland people, all of them together, going against Gluskabe? Well, that was man versus society, because the entire society of them was against him. So you have man versus man, and man versus a group of people, a society. And you also have a third type of conflict, which is man versus nature. And that's the first conflict we saw, because it's winter. Winter is nature. So you have man versus nature. So Old Man Winter controls the winter. He controls the conditions of the winter. But it's the winter that they had the original conflict with. So we've seen three types of conflict here. We've seen man versus man, which is Gluskabe and Old Man Winter. We've seen man versus nature, which is Gluskabe and his grandmother and the people against winter, and how winter is making life very difficult for them. And we've seen man versus society, where Gluskabe goes against the entire group of the Summerland people. All right? The other type of conflict is different than external. It's called internal. It's inside you. An internal conflict is, it's like when you aren't sure of what to do. And so, like, for example, we're all quarantined. We're all sitting in our room, right? So you're like, do I do my English homework or do I play a video game? I know I must do my English homework. It will make my dad happy, but this video game looks so much fun. My friends are playing it. What do I do? That's an internal conflict. Internal. It's inside you. So we have external conflict and internal conflict. So this is external conflict, man versus man, character versus character. All right, let's see what happens next. So next, Gluskabe says, your fire is no longer cold. It's getting warmer. Your wigwam is melting away. You are getting weaker. And Old Man Winter, still very confident, says, no one can defeat me. Gluskabe says, old man, you are defeated. And so warm weather return. Go back to your home in the north. And that's basically it. So the blanket walls, now these are our stage directions again. So the blanket walls of Old Man's Winter Wigwam collapse. Old Man Winter stands up and he walks away as swiftly as he can, crouches down as if getting smaller like this. So on the stage, people will be carrying cutouts of the sun, flowers, plants, and surround Gluskabe as he sits there, smiling. And then the final part of the play, there's this narrator, a voice over everything, says, So Gluskabe defeated Old Man Winter. Because he brought only one small piece of summer, winter still returns each year. But thanks to Gluskabe, spring always comes back again. So what this story represents is, obviously are the 4 seasons. So you have, and this is the Abenakis' way of understanding how they had the 4 seasons. So you had Old Man Winter bringing the winter, and then Gluskabe returning with his summer stick, and so it takes time. It takes time for that winter to wear off, and so that period from winter to summer we call spring. Well, then the summer stick maybe starts getting weak. Old Man Winter comes back, and he's like, "Hey, I want my winter again." And then we have the fall, and then we get into the winter. So this is the third and fourth. These are the third and fourth scenes of our story. Gluskabe and Old Man Winter. All right. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. And again, thank you for your participation in online learning and on Teams. Bye.